And first, I'd like to welcome all of you up for coming, but a very special welcome for the chairman of the Texas Railroad Commission, a man I voted for this past November, Chairman Barry Smitherman. And as they say in College Station, Texas, home of the Fighting Texas Aggies, howdy, whoop. As Commissioner Smitherman, this question is for you. As you discuss your testimony, Texas very clearly has reliability challenges ahead of it, starting as early as next year when resource reserve margins could slip below the 13.75 target that ERCOT has. And while FERC works to address the impacts of increasingly depending on natural gas, would you agree that on the other side of Washington, the EPA is working to help make it all but impossible to build any new coal plants that would diversify our power sources?
Certainly, Congressman Olson, great to see you. You referenced earlier in your remarks a couple of projects which had been taken off the table in Texas because they were unable to meet new federal greenhouse gas regulations. So what that leaves us with in Texas is maintaining the current coal fleet and hoping that generators will add additional combined cycle gas. It looks like we're going to get a couple of new projects built that are going to be combined cycle, but probably going forward, that is the only type of generation that we'll see built in Texas will be combined cycle gas. And with that, we are trying to design a market to incent additional generation, but we essentially have found ourselves with only one tool in the toolbox.
And what tool is that, sir?
That is modifying the market design to incent new natural gas-fired generation. Since we will not get any new coal plants built, we will struggle to maintain the existing coal fleet operational, and I think it's almost impossible to build new nuclear in Texas.
Yes, sir. I understand all that. And you heard my exchange with Commissioner Moeller in the previous panel about the incident in February of 2011, the cold incident, the freezing incident across our state, and also the extreme heat wave we had in the state as well in August of that year. The February 2011 event has been held up for a while now as a clear example of the interdependence of the electrical and natural gas industries and what can happen with systems when they run into trouble. Would you say that Texas has learned from that incident? And if so, are the steps you've taken alongside with the PUC and ERCOT so that they can be shared nationwide?
We have learned a number of things. One, the communication among all the agencies is incredibly important, so we have a task force today that meets regularly to investigate and communicate issues of fuel supply, of weatherization. In fact, one of the things we required after that event was additional weatherization on the boiler level to make sure that these plants are prepared for extraordinarily cold weather, and to encourage firm gas supply contracts to our power generating stations. And if we know that a firm supply contract is not in place, that the ERCOT grid operators do not count upon that unit to be available during those periods of time. We're also working on demand response initiatives and other things that give us a few additional tools. But I think it's important to be mindful of the fact that that was a very, very cold weather event. And for the most part, power generation plants in Texas are designed for summer heat, not for sub-32-degree temperatures for 3 straight days.
Yes, sir. And one final question. This is taking a page from Chairman Emeritus Dingell's playbook, but I'm asking a question for all of you with an answer of yes or no. Start with you, Mr. Hibbert, on the end there. Yes or no. As things stand now, do you see the need for a full FERC rulemaking on the topic of gas-electric coordination, or is a focus on regional action and clarification of existing regulations enough? Yes or no, please, sir.
I think FERC's approach looking at the issue regionally is correct.
And Mr. Vanderwally.
I think it's yes and no. So I think most of this can be handled regionally, but I think there are certain issues that that Commissioner LaFleur indicated could be looked at nationally.
Yeah, I guess I should rephrase that. Regional or FERC regulation? Mr. Moeller.
Regional.
Regional. Mr. Eppel.
Regional.
Mr. Smitherman.
Texans can take care of Texas.
Amen, brother. And when Mr. Hibbert, regional, it sounds like you're regional as well. Okay, there you go. So 5 for 5. Looks like I'm out of time. I yield back the balance of my time.